Hello, everyone. Our group discussed the Ford company. According to the analysis in Part A, Ford faces serious challenges. Numerous competitors and missteps have driven Ford's market shares and the stock price down. Six generations of Ford's 119 years old family has gone through three distinct stages of the development. The detection leadership in 1903, Henry Ford and 11 partners formed the Ford Motor Company. He led to the introduction of the affordable national car Model T in 1908. Ford then developed the world's first motor assembly line. Within a few years, became the largest U.S. auto company. And the Harris long dictatorial leadership led to the company's repeated poor decisions, such as buying an airline in 1925, which fell into the crisis during the Great Depression. For the second, keeps control. Former GM executive branch was hired external to restructure the organization, and the self-made Lee was reused internally, successfully market several new cars. After years to reform, Ford finally turned a profit and led to the foundation of the brand. Ford went public in 1956, within the family owning 40% of the voting rights. In 1976, with the Japanese auto brand's rose, ultimately, he forced the board to fire Lee. Third, for the fourth generation governance and power structure. In 2006, Bill put Allen to conduct the Ford. And under the Allen's leadership from 2010 to 2012, it achieved 5 consecutive years of profit reserve. In 2022, Jim took over processing of Ford Plus, transforming and beta heavily on electronic vehicles. In 2022, the company will split into three major businesses: internal combustion engineers, electronic vehicles, and commercial vehicles.
Herbert Simon proposed the bounded rational decision theory in 1950s. The theory included the executive orientation, filtering process, and organizational results. They use the social man theory, and because people have limited knowledge, and they use the satisfaction criteria. Taking for the CEO Jim Fairley as an example. Firstly, the CEO's value and cognitive is really important. Jim's grandfather working for Ford for many years, and their family get many benefits from the Ford company. So Jim Fairley hope provide workers with a stable job and create a cohesive team atmosphere. He want to many families live a better life. And on the other hand, personality characteristics is more important for CEO. Jim is creative, actionable, and decisive. Before entering for the company, Jim developing fuel-efficient small cars in the U.S. And later, he worked for Ford, developing electrification technology and electric vehicles, which is important for Ford company to enter the electric age. As for recommendation, it's important for CEO to have awareness of changes, and they should develop innovative and integrated resources ability. That's all.
And after analysis of Ford's combining the series from week 5 concludes that the company's top management team model is critical to the company's growth. The top management team model is mainly composed of managers' background factors, top management team composition, and structure and process, strategic decision-making process, and organizational results. TMT members differ in their personality traits, education level and experience, social experience, and management styles, which leads to different perspectives and views when following programs. As executive chairman of Ford, Williams' management philosophy is to make Ford a sustainable success and develop sustainable products that benefit society and customers, investing heavily in technology and fuel in the unit and force in the industry downturn. Next page, please. And as Ford is also Ford as one of the automobile production giants in the United States, has a complex management structure and a strong senior management team. Ford is always divided into different business units, and each department has cross-bonding managers and team goals. For example, Ford will separate the traditional auto business and electric vehicles business in 2022. As president of Ford Blue, Kumar plans to cut costs and increase competitiveness by making quality the main reason consumers choose Ford. However, Jim wants to boost the company's stock price by making Ford a leader in electric and connected cars. Therefore, if Ford wants to achieve the goal of long-term development and long-term success, it must ensure that the unit of opinion of the top management team and reduce the heterogeneity within the top management team as much as possible. That's my part.
Board of directors of company is the company's operation decision-making part, is responsible for the obligations of the whole company. But the authority of board of directors is also limited by two aspects. It should not engage in activities that are unrelated to the business of the company. And when conflicts between resolution of the general meeting and the board of directors, the resolution of the general meeting makes the decision. Structures and the realization of decision making. This will be divided into three parts. Firstly, internal and external directors. In order to prevent one part makes the decision, strict supervision need to be formed among board members, which involves internal directors and external directors. On the whole, internal directors knows more about the current situation of the company than external directors, but external directors have no connections with the company, so they are more independent. Annie Chen is the president and the chief executive officer of Ford China. He reports to Jim Furry, first chief executive officer. Mr. Chen leads the company's operations in China, including all import and joint venture businesses. The second one is independent and associated directors. The relationship between board independence and corporate performance is complicated. Theoretically speaking, on the one hand, the more independent the board is, the stronger its supervisory corporate governance ability will be. On the other hand, independent and directors do not know much about the company, and the independent directors may increase the cost of board communication and decision making. For example, Mike Amanda joined Ford in September 2021 as Chief Enterprise Technology Officer. He reports to Jim Furry as well. He leads Ford's technology and software platforms, including enterprise information technology and global data insight. At last, allocation of male and female directors. According to studies, men tend to be rational thinking. They care more about trend and the overall development. Women tend to be rational thinking. They are focused more on the internal details. So in Ford's board of directors, the balance of male and female directors are well allocated. As a result, no matter in the company's overall development or internal details are achieving excellent results. In order to make the board of directors better function, here are two suggestions. One is to ensure the board of directors has independence and avoid becoming a tool to manipulate the company. So a special committee should be established to solve the conflicts. Another one is to improve the operation mechanism of the board of directors, including the improvement of the power of board of directors and the voting procedures. That's all about my part.
In conclusion, after analyzing the leader, directors, and management structure of the Ford, it is clear that Ford has facing many challenges and constantly looking for the ways to improve. Regarding the structure of the board of directors, we recommended increasing the independence of the board of directors and improving the power of the board. By doing this, the company will be able to make better decisions. On the level of the leadership, the CEO of Ford, Jim, explores a new directions for the company by aiming for electronic vehicles to reserve the downstreams of the traditional automobile markets. Establishing a new core management team and a structure to guide Ford to a better future. We can see that Ford is currently experiencing a transaction period and looking to dominate the market again. Thank you for listening.